Welcome to the Unknown Redneck Show. So welcome to the Unknown Redneck Show. And obviously you cannot see my face because I am the Unknown Redneck. So I do not make videos on my old channel anymore. Therefore, I have this channel, but this channel is the Unknown Redneck channel. So I don't really have an opening for this channel yet, and I'm not showing my face or giving any identifying information out. So the first thing the Unknown Redneck is going to discuss are the bombing, or not the bombings, because there's no bombings going on, but the bombs that are being mailed. This is a knife. And so my take on these bomb mailings. First of all, the mailings seem rather crude. It would seem to me that it will be relatively quick and easy to catch whoever is sending them. Maybe the person wants to be caught. It would not surprise me. From what I've seen, like I said, everything seems very crude. Therefore, I would think the person is not intending to actually do anybody any harm. But I do think the person wants to scare the living daylights out of people. Who's doing it? I have no idea who's doing it. It could be somebody from the left, it could be somebody from the right, it could be somebody else. Considering all the rhetoric from the left, all the violent rhetoric from the left, no wonder I couldn't do anything, because we just lost the internet again. Damn it. Anyway, so it would not surprise me if, for instance, there was the congressional softball or baseball match, and it was a Republican that was shot. And then you have Maxine Waters with her rhetoric, telling people to harass and terrorize people. Other Democrats have said similar things. But I'm a libertarian, I'm not a conservative, I'm not a leftist. I would be considered a classical liberal. And I do not support sending real or fake bombs to anybody. But it would not surprise me if it's somebody on the left trying to blame people on the right. And really, the Republican Party is not a rightist party. It's actually kind of leftist. Not kind of, it is very leftist. Maybe the new guard is a little more conservative, but the old guard are definitely a long way from being conservative. The old guard Republicans are a long way from being conservative. They were neoconservatives. They are neoconservatives. Rush Limbaugh is a neoconservative. What's that idiot's name? The former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, he's a neoconservative. He's not a conservative. Both of those men are neoconservatives. That means they are socialist. They're leftist. They're not conservatives at all. I don't trust Rush Limbaugh. I remember when Rush Limbaugh, in the 90s, when he was first becoming popular, I listened to him back then. I wouldn't listen to him if you paid me $1 million today. Well, maybe if you paid me $1 million, I'd listen to him. But at least I'd turn the radio on, but I'm not sure I'd pay any attention to him. But anyway, the Republicans were in a position to end abortion, to stop baby killing. And they refused to do it. They had the votes and they refused to do it. And Rush Limbaugh and Gingrich and the rest, well, we need to do things in increments. We need to do things incrementally. I'm like, no, if you really believe that babies are being murdered, and you really believe that we need to stop murdering babies, then you stop it, you end it. You don't play these little word games, because you had the power to stop it and you didn't stop it. I'm very concerned about the upcoming elections, because there are probably a lot of people who are conservatives and libertarians out there who think, well, look, we look at all the online, they see how active people are online now, and they're going to think, oh, well, I don't need to go out and vote because other people are going to do it for me. No, you go vote. And this has happened before. Both parties have had this issue in the past, where one party thought that, well, we have it in the bag, so our people don't need to really get out in large numbers, and then they lost elections. And same with the other primary party. The thing is, there are more than 2 parties in this country. There are more than 3 parties in this country. And I think the Libertarian Party is starting to really make some headway, and that's good. But the Libertarian Party, and in the Libertarian Party, the actual organization, they will run just about anybody that calls themselves libertarian, even if they're not. For instance, they ran Bob Barr, who is a neoconservative, a socialist, and not libertarian, not even close to being libertarian, not even close to being a true conservative. Therefore, there's no way I can support the Republican Party. Although it doesn't mean I don't support some of their ideas. I do. I probably support some of the ideas of the Democratic Party, for all I know. I know I used to, because I was brought up as a Democrat. In college, I was a member of the, I won't say the name of the school, but the blank Young Democrats. Went to the state convention, the state convention, to the leadership conference, numerous events in the town, in the city. And I got to see what really goes on behind closed doors. And let me tell you that the leadership of the Democratic Party is no better than the leadership of the Republican Party. They're all a bunch of assholes, and they will use and abuse you. They get free labor out of you. They get you to get the vote out for them, but otherwise they don't give a damn about you. And most political parties are like that. So I got internet back now. Let's see, for how long? So it would not surprise me if it turns out that it's somebody from the left that's been sending these bombs. But from what I've seen, it should be pretty easy to find the person, because, well, the packages and the bombs, if you can call them bombs, look crude and easy to. It looks like there's going to be a ton of evidence left on and in the envelopes, under the tape. Probably fingerprints everywhere. I used to have a videotape. It was like a 20-minute tape. It wasn't very long, and I paid like $50 for the damn thing. and it was the Irish Republican Army video. And in the video, during one of they were preparing for an operation, and they took their guns apart. They went through every little single piece of their guns and wiped them clean of any fingerprints. Back then there wasn't DNA, but they took every bullet that they were going to put in those guns and they wiped them down so there were no fingerprints. And they had gloves on. They had ski masks on. There was not going to be any hair. There wasn't going to be any fingerprints. But I bet whoever's, and it could be a group of people doing this. It could very well be a group of people. If it's a group of people, I have a feeling as soon as one's caught, the whole group's going to be caught, because I seriously doubt anybody's going to want to take the fall for this alone. They're going to want to, blame it on others, so hopefully they get a lesser sentence. The thing is, I don't know anything about bombs. I don't know anything about these bombs. It's very possible that these bombs could actually go off. Again, I don't know what's inside of them. I don't know how they're made. But they do look crude. And we really need to, before we start saying, oh, we have to blame this person or that person or this group or that, why don't we wait until we get some information about what's really going on? Because, like I said, I don't think it's going to be long before the person or persons are caught. So instead of blaming everybody right now, let's just see what's going on. Let's try to catch the person, and let's stop with all this violence. I mean, you have Black Lives Matter and their violence. People say, well, what about Charlottesville? Yeah, what about Charlottesville? How many people were harmed in Charlottesville versus how many people are being harmed by Black Lives Matter and what's that? There's another group out there, Antifa. How many people have been injured and killed by these two groups versus Charlottesville was what, 1 or 2 people were seriously injured? Yet BLM and Antifa, and remember that George Soros is not a philanthropist. George Soros is a fascist pig, and he's funding these two organizations. Yet the media calls him a philanthropist. Really? He was a fucking Nazi in Europe during the war. Or at least he helped the Nazis. And there's a video on YouTube, an interview with him. He still doesn't have a problem with what he did. The guy's a sicko. Most people with that kind of power and money are sickos. But anyway, that's this redneck's opinion. What's yours?